In today's world, we rely on CCTV cameras to keep us safe. But how did ancient tribes protect themselves without these modern tools? The answer lies in their deep understanding of the land and their communities. Unlike today, where technology is the backbone of security, tribes created intricate systems based on awareness, trust, and the environment. Watchmen were positioned on high ground, ready to spot potential threats long before they approached. These tribes didn't rely on wires or alarms. They used nature as their surveillance system. A change in the wind, a rustle in the bushes, or a bird's flight, all signals that danger was near. Lookouts were stationed on high trees or hills, their eyes sharp and their senses tuned to the slightest movement. There was a system of communication that worked silently. Drums, smoke signals, and coded hand gestures passed along urgent messages. The tribe was its own protector, with each individual playing a vital role in ensuring safety. As night fell, the village's defenses came alive, with every person working together to guard their home. A strong sense of communal responsibility meant that no one was ever truly alone. Everyone had a role, whether it was watching, listening, or passing on messages. Unlike modern systems where cameras and technology take the burden, tribes showed that true protection came from within, through the wisdom of their ancestors, their close bond with the environment, and an unwavering trust in one another. Long before CCTV cameras and modern technology, tribes had one of the most effective surveillance systems imaginable: nature itself. The rustling of leaves, the calls of animals, and the wind's whispers were all signals to alert tribes of approaching danger. Animals, such as birds and monkeys, acted as the earliest form of surveillance, warning the tribe of any movement or intruders. The forest, with all its sounds and patterns, provided a map of life. Tribal members, deeply connected to their environment, could sense when something was out of place. Their survival depended on this extraordinary connection with nature. When a bird flew in a specific direction or a rustling in the bushes occurred, it wasn't just a random event. It was a message from the environment. Tribes didn't need cameras or alarms. Their eyes, ears, and intuition, combined with their knowledge of nature's rhythms, gave them an unparalleled advantage. The forest and its inhabitants were their network, offering the protection no modern technology could ever match. It wasn't just about watching. It was about understanding, interpreting, and acting quickly to stay safe. The way tribes listened to the wind or read the sky's signals was the ultimate form of early warning. In many ways, nature served as the first and most reliable security system. In every tribe, there were those who stood as the first line of defense. The Watchmen, positioned high on hills, towers, or trees, they held a critical role in ensuring the safety of the tribe. These watchmen were the tribe's eyes and ears, alert and focused, scanning the horizon for any signs of approaching danger. The position of watchman was one of great responsibility. It required not just keen eyesight, but also patience and deep knowledge of the land. Watchmen could spot movement from miles away, using their height and vantage points to gain an advantage. They would remain still for hours, sometimes days, relying on their senses to detect the slightest disturbance. But they weren't just on the lookout for enemies. They were also tasked with monitoring the rhythms of nature. A change in the weather, the migration of animals, or the sudden silence of the forest could all signal an impending threat. When danger was spotted, the watchmen would use signals, smoke, fire, or loud horns, to alert the tribe. Communication was vital in these moments of crisis, and the watchman's quick response could be the difference between survival and disaster. In this way, the watchmen were the guardians of the tribe, often sacrificing their comfort for the security of the community. In the world of ancient tribes, safety wasn't just about one person watching over the land. It was about everyone in the tribe working together. From the youngest child to the oldest elder, each person had a role in the tribe's protection. The strength of these tribes lay in their sense of communal trust. Everyone was aware that their survival depended on the cooperation of the group. Elders taught the younger generation the importance of vigilance, and in turn, the youth brought fresh energy and quick reflexes to keep the tribe safe. In times of danger, each member of the tribe was expected to act without hesitation, whether it meant taking up arms, sending a signal, or hiding within the village's defenses. Communication was key, and it wasn't always verbal. Through hand signals, drum beats, or even the way the wind shifted, messages were passed along quickly and without confusion. A change in behavior was enough to alert everyone, whether it was a shift in the animal's movement or a sudden silence in the air. The trust each tribe member had in one another meant they could focus on their task, knowing that others were equally invested in their safety. The community wasn't just a group of people. It was a collective force, a single unit whose purpose was survival. With this shared responsibility came strength, and through this strength, they thrived. In addition to physical barriers, tribes also used symbolic markings and defensive structures to protect their land and people. These symbols were not just for decoration. They were powerful, visible messages to anyone who approached. Carved into trees, painted on shields, or etched into the earth, these markings conveyed strength and deterred enemies. In many tribes, these symbols were believed to have spiritual power, providing not just protection, but a connection to the ancestors who had passed down the knowledge of how to defend the tribe. Defensive structures, like walls, spikes, and trenches, were also built with precision. These designs were carefully crafted to protect the village from external threats while maintaining the tribe's way of life. The use of natural resources, sharp thorns, trees with thicket branches, and rocks, created a defense system that was both sustainable and effective. This form of protection was not only physical, but psychological. The symbols acted as a deterrent, sending a message to would-be attackers that the tribe was well prepared and not to be trifled with. These markings were visible reminders of the tribe's resilience, its unity, and its determination to stay safe. Protection in ancient tribes wasn't only about physical defenses. Many tribes believed that their safety was tied to spiritual and ancestral forces. Rituals and stories passed down through generations played a significant role in keeping the tribe safe. These stories often featured legendary ancestors who fought off invaders or brave warriors who protected the tribe from danger. The power of these stories was more than just myth. It was a reminder of the tribe's strength, resilience, and history. Spiritual ceremonies were held to invoke protection, where tribal shamans or spiritual leaders would call on the ancestors to watch over the tribe. The rituals often included offerings, dances, and chants to ask for guidance and safety. The belief that the ancestors were watching over them gave the tribe a sense of unshakable security. Rituals were also performed before battles, with tribal warriors seeking spiritual favor for their safety and success. These ceremonies not only provided protection, but also reinforced the sense of unity and community within the tribe. Whether through stories, ceremonies, or symbols, the tribe's protection was seen as a collective effort, one that spanned both the physical and spiritual realms. Today, we live in a world where protection comes in the form of cameras, alarms, and advanced technology. But how different are we from the tribes of the past? While technology has certainly made our lives more secure, it has also distanced us from the connection to nature and community that once kept ancient tribes safe. In modern cities, we rely on CCTV cameras, facial recognition, and sensors to monitor our environments, alerting us to any potential threats. But this comes at a cost: the loss of personal connection, the absence of vigilance from every individual. Modern security systems, though efficient, often isolate us, creating a barrier between us and the environment around us. In contrast, ancient tribes relied on human intuition, the wisdom of the elders, and the collective awareness of the entire tribe to stay safe. Their watchmen were not isolated in front of screens. They were deeply connected to the land, reading the signs of nature and working together. The real question is, as we become more reliant on technology, have we lost something crucial? Our ability to truly connect with the world around us and protect ourselves in a way that goes beyond just surveillance?